Hello and welcome to the Angel of Death Monster Truck YouTube channel. And welcome back if you're a returner. And thank you very much. Today we're going to take a peek at the 1950 GMC here. I had that thing since I was like 14 years old, I believe. A few years, so anyways, I've had it fixed up a time or two, and we're on the third round of restoration for this 1950 GMC. Let's have a peek. I kind of want your guys' opinion on this here, and we'll get into that in the video here, but first we'll start out with the 50. Alright, let's check it out, man. Okay, this thing used to be real beautiful shape, and I mean, for the most part it's still in okay shape, but the grill has taken a nasty turn, getting some rust speckles on it, and it used to just shine like the sun, you know what I mean? Not no more though. Got darn hog panels, and it is sitting on a 76 Camaro subframe in the rear end, and used to have a 283 in it that I built with a guy over in McCluskey. He's actually the guy who helped me put the front end in the truck. When I was just 14 years old, I was measuring and tack welding things into place on that front end. And then Richard would come in and check everything, and then he'd weld it up if it was good to go, which 9 out of 10 times it was good to go. But yeah, I used to have the interior pretty nice with some 1984 Chrysler New Yorker headliner and seats and stuff. That's long gone because this cab is a different cab than I used to have. The cab used to match the fenders. Because back in the day, some high schoolers or college kids, I think it was maybe, took this truck out to Wahpeton and painted it up for their school project. And it used to look really nice, and I got a lot of eyes with this truck over the years. Just 14, 15 years old. This was my first vehicle, actually. My first one that I steadily drove. My daily driver. Can you believe that? That used to be my daily driver, people. And no, it didn't look like this, but I mean, it looks pretty cool like this, which is what we're going to get into right now. I want to know, should we put a clear coat on this truck as is, or should we skip that project altogether and paint Ozena? I got a real interesting turquoise blue color, sky blue kind of, that I want to paint them. It's really bright and kind of neon, and then I want to paint Ozena down the side, probably at an angle, both sides. And then up here on the hood, I want to paint a big old pentagram with some Canadian maple leaves on the corners, and it's going to say Super Joint Ritual across the top. All the emblems will be in black, Ozena down the side in black. So, which, for those of you that don't know this, all my vehicles are named after heavy metal songs, okay? And this one here is a Super Joint Ritual theme, and we call this guy Ozena. So anyway, let's get back over here to the 50. So my next project was going to be, I was going to drop a 454 in here out of my service truck. But I just took some measurements, and we're about a foot too small in both directions. So 454 for the 50 is definitely out of the question without doing a bunch of chopping and modifying to the steering, which I am not about to do right now, because let's just face it, we're on a budget and we just got to do things the way we're going to do them. So what I was thinking is I could take this here 400 that's in here, and it did run when the guy put it in for me about about 12 years ago. And somebody stole the distributor on me, so that's been opened up and stuff like that. And no air cleaner because somebody took that too, and it's got mouse droppings and stuff like that all over it. But here's the thing. I think maybe we should see if this engine runs before we pull it out. Because if it runs good enough to get it from the garage back out to the driveway and stuff, I'll leave it there until we get this thing clear coated up. But yeah, I think the 454 would have been a very choice engine for this thing, because it would have been like suck that front end right to the ground, and the ass end would have went wherever you would have wanted it to. But whatever, I guess we'll get a small block Chevy to do the same thing, right? Right. I'll show you the inside of this here thing. Is it's gonna take a little bit of sandblasting and air compressor blowing with at least 1,000 psi to get some of this mouse and rust and stuff out of the cab. It's gonna definitely have to be very disinfected before I start to work in here at all. Check this out. Okay, we got my Corvette steering column in there, tilt column, and the nice Harley Davidson emblem in the center cap there. Look at that fancy stuff, huh? That's worth a fortune in gold right there. And but yeah, I think they're just gonna clear coat the dash and everything, and then we'll put some fancy interior up for the headliner, and either I'll rewrap this seat or nah, scratch that idea. We'll get a new seat, and then I don't know about this shifter here. I can't remember what kind of car it took this out of, but kind of unique actually if you think about it, because it's already set up for a little screen right there for a backup camera and whatnot. Yeah, cool. Oh no, keys are missing. Well, I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, this cab here is a 53.5 actually. So it doesn't have the bar in the middle of the window, which is why I wanted this cab. That and the dash is a little cooler than the dash that I had. The dash in the 50 was just completely rounded, didn't have this fancy little ridge sticking out all the way across, which just adds so much to the dash. And then you can order some nice digital gauges and throw them in there, and put a stereo and stuff in there, and there we go. My big boosters out of the Camaro, gas pedals out of the 84 Chrysler New Yorker. And the guy didn't think I was gonna get that to work, but lo and behold, it worked out great. So, yeah. And I was just 14 years old back then, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen. Robots and transformers. Alright. Oh yes, and then we gotta order some door latches and striker plates. No striker plate on there, so I've been holding it on here with this gross ass strap. And normally don't sit that low to the ground, but the tires are flat, so there's that. But yeah, I was under here looking, and I noticed he didn't even finish mounting up the tranny and stuff yet. It looks like it's a little ways away from the cross member. But I do have a different one that I might stick in here instead. So, but we got a lot of things we need to strip off of this frame, like the old emergency brake bar going across there, and exhaust pipes that are hanging and dangling, and these things that are all over the frame, and those things that are all over the frame, and those things that are, yeah, you know, you get the point. Okay. And then as far as the box goes, I know you can't see much of it, but I think if we just maybe find some good old barn wood and And we'll replace some of the spots like this where it used to have stacks when I first got it. And we rotted some of it out, so I think if we just replace little pieces like that, put a nice thick clear over everything, all the rust and everything, keep it just like that. Give her a nice fancy finish over everything. And someday down the road, if I run into extra money and stuff and the price of fuel goes way down there or something, where I could actually afford a real paint job or something, and maybe we'll go in and get some paint slapped on them. But yeah, I have not named that truck actually, and the whole time I've owned him pretty much, so we have to think of a good another metal name for the 50. 50, 76, 53 and a half, 84. There's a couple other years blended in there too. Oh, I think that engine's actually a 78. So, but anyway, GMC 100 lowrider. We're gonna put a clear coat on that, or we're gonna paint Ozena. It's up to you guys. Well, it's actually up to me, but I'd really appreciate your guys' input on this, and keep in mind that I'm on a low budget, so if it takes more than 12 cans of rattle paint to paint this guy, we ain't gonna be able to do them for a couple weeks, because I gotta work and stuff and make some money and pay bills and buy gas. Alright, well, there's Ozena, and there's the 50. Which shall it be? Bright blue, turquoisey, green, sky blue paint, or clear over rust and dirt and spider webs and grime? Alright guys, thanks for tuning in to the Angel of Death Monster Truck YouTube channel, where dreams are always on the burner. Peace!